Here we go. Yeah. At last, Rosh Veera made it in. It was quite simple. So how did it go? Was it simple? Was it?
Yeah, it was simple. Yeah, everything was just a link to the messenger and email, follow up with a reminder. Perfect. It was so simple.
So simple. Exactly. That's just what I'm talking about. Everything's so simple. It's you don't really need to download anything, and you could access it from your handheld device. You could access it from your laptop, your iPad. It's so simple. It's a virtual office. Yeah, now we are talking. So, Rajveer, I'll be curious to know your story. How you've been in Australia, Sydney, for how long?
Oh.
Here we go. Yeah. At last, Rosh Veera made it in. It was quite simple. So how did it go? Was it simple? Was it?
Yeah, it was simple. Yeah, everything was just a link to the messenger and email, follow up with a reminder. Perfect. It was so simple.
So simple. Exactly. That's just what I'm talking about. Everything's so simple. It's you don't really need to download anything, and you could access it from your handheld device. You could access it from your laptop, your iPad. It's so simple. It's a virtual office. Yeah, now we are talking. So, Rajveer, I'll be curious to know your story. How you've been in Australia, Sydney, for how long?
Oh, Sydney for most of my life. I would say I started in year one, I think, in Liverpool Primary, near the train station. There was a little primary school, and then from there, we went to Marsden Road, Liverpool, another primary school. I moved around a couple of primary schools in Liverpool. Then my parents went back to England. My dad did some studies and worked there. Then we came back, or sometime in between that. And then we moved to Bosley Park. And then we went to Bosley Park Primary School.
So cool. Wow. Just a second. Yeah.
I've lived in Liverpool. I've lived in Fairfield Council, Liverpool Council, and yes, I went to Bosley Park Primary School. Then I went to Prairie Wood High School, which is also in Fairfield Council. And then I went to university in Kensington. Then, yes, I started working. And now my children, now I live in Greystanes, which is in Cumberland Council. And my children go to the school here in Greystanes. So I've lived in 3 councils now in New South Wales. But when I first came to Australia, my parents live in Darwin. I was a baby, and my dad was working up there. So we lived in Northern Territory, then we moved to New South Wales. My parents came after Cyclone Tracy. That was a big event in 1976. So they were looking for migrants. That's after the White Australia policy had gone. So they're looking for migrants to come and work and rebuild Darwin. So my parents came, my mom was 19 or something like that. And I was like 18 months old, and they just came with 2 suitcases and started working. So I remember Darwin. I remember we made some friends up there, some family friends, and we're still in contact with them. All these years, maybe 40 years, my parents still in contact with them. And at that time there was no, grocery shop for my mom to do the cooking. We were there from Sri Lanka originally, and she didn't have any spices or anything like that. But now everything has changed. You can see in Australia there's more Asian migrants, and all our food is here. So she gave away all her saris and everything. After they got married, she gave all her saris and all her wedding gifts and just came to Australia with 2 suitcases. Everything was starting again from beginning.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, this is interesting. An interesting story, history. And I can imagine actress also you do.
No. I just started that recently. Yeah, just recently I started. I do a lot of things. So someone was calling for a TV commercial for some Malaysian family. So I went and took my family and auditioned for that. So that's when we got our agent. So that's only a very new thing. Yeah. So that's a new thing. It's good because I like to see that a representation of different communities on television. More and more commercials and TV are now representing different nationalities, which is good. When I grew up, I was watching Home and Away and Neighbors, and I only saw blonde hair, blue-eyed actors. So my dream is like to be on Home and Away as an Asian, as a, So, but I've never seen anyone like that. So maybe one day.
Adventure online. Have you had a blast online, or do you have any fears doing stuff online? Yeah.
Online, I have a lot of Facebook pages. I run a couple of community pages, actually 3. I have a buy, swap, and sell. I have a mom's group. So that one was like keeping me busy when the kids were small. So I upload the news in the area. It's a mom's page called Cumberland Moms. So I was sharing the news and what people are doing locally, and then also promoting their businesses. So that's online. And then I most recently have one that's to support diversity and multiculturalism called Change for Cumberland. So that's I promote anti-racism. I follow all that sort of thing. So that's interesting. But yeah, my online is with Global Sisters. I have a shop, and I make during the pandemic I started making jewelry and sewing things. So that's with the program called Global Sisters.
At social media, has it been useful, or let me put it this way, has it been useful or has it been harmful, in particularly to children, the next generation, and your generation?
Has it been useful, the social media? My children only recently joined, I think it's called Snapchat. Oh no, the other one, TikTok. Yes, they only recently joined that, and before that they're on Roadblocks. That's not social media, but it's a game, but it's online. Yes, they suffered some bullying on that one, and my son was crying because somebody was bullying his sister, and I said, "Oh, what's happened?" So that was his first experience. I said, "Oh, that's really bad. That's very bad." And I told them not to add random people to check who they are, because they could be strangers, they might not be their friends.
So sad. Now we had over 800 people here who participated and said social media can be deceptive. 80% said so. And 82% they find family more important than career. And 57% believe that online dating is a waste of time. 69% believe that interracial marriages can reduce racism. Then 78% want a world without racists. So that has been the result basically, of the survey. And that's one of the things that's put, kind of like got me into the project, because I do something with the Cumberland Council. Have you heard of Refugee in My Neighborhood?
Cumberland Council, my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. I participated in, one of the ambassadors there, Refugee in My Neighborhood program. I played one of the actors there.
Awesome. You're going to share that with us.
Yeah. And, when the pandemic started, the council, they pulled the plug on the project. So the project is now on its own.
Pull the plug.
Yeah, they pulled the plug on the project. So the project is now a standalone project. And with the participants, we are now rallying ourselves together to support the project. As at last year, we didn't have it last year because of the pandemic, but 2019, we had over 800 students that participated in the tour.
Yes.
The Cumberland Council tour, 800 students. And we're looking at having more participants.
Yeah, I can help. I can help you because I have a mom's group. I'm active in Cumberland. I can get participants for you.
Yeah. So essentially, when I did the survey, I had to look at things that people would love. People would want to have mothers, parents, people who would love to support those of us on the field. So what we do essentially is we have tools, digital tools, which we've systematized, simplified, that you could use. Like you said, this is one, so simple, cloud-based, and you enjoy heaps of stuff in terms of content, in terms of cybersecurity. In fact, we have a phone that we are bringing on board, which could block ads, pornography, and all whatnot.
Oh, that's fantastic. Basically. Yes.
Well, that's we find very interesting. You could walk. It's actually a workstation, and it's a phone. I will show you that later on anyway. But today is just like an introductory interview, a meeting, and that's what we just had. Now, my friends already know you. They're watching you. They know what you're capable of, and you've got the moms group, which I would want to work with closely. I want to work with your community, and all that, to really digitize, simplify a lot of tools for you guys, and at the same time, gain support from your community towards the project, because we want to raise leaders from there. Why I say raise leaders now is that those students coming in 2-3 decades from now, they'll be in the parliament. So those are the people who would, make policies. They'll be our policy makers 2-3 decades from now.
We need policy makers.
We need policy makers. So they are the ones who, at this age, it's imperative that we start showing them the ropes. They now know the crises, they know the truth and all that, so that they will grow. And actually, from 2019, the feedback we got from schools was tremendous. The students are really eager. They are really taking the training, and they really want to see changes. They are really eager to bring changes to Australia and across the globe. And we are looking at this year, subsequent years, we are looking at participants from Europe, Africa, America, because it's, we are taking the social media, we're putting it up on social media, so more participants will come in, because looking at the refugee crisis, it's going to take 3 centuries for them to settle all refugees across the globe. So it's something that is even beyond everyone. It's going to take 3 centuries. So it's about time that we just start educating the upcoming leaders, and they do their part as we are doing our part. So that's
fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic, because it's not a small problem, is it?
Yeah, it's not a small problem. It's a huge, huge problem. In particular, during the pandemic, a lot of the asylum seekers, refugees were displaced. They had, no support. We just had to rally around and all that. I was doing a lot of work there with the Salvation Army and I'm still doing quite a petty job with them.
I know. Personally, like in our Malay community, somebody committed suicide in Villawood, like during the pandemic. That's just not on.
You can imagine that, committed suicide. So contribute. You get in this platform, there's a whole lot to contribute, and there's a whole lot of recognition that goes with it too, and a lot of rewards. So it's nice having you come out this morning out of your tight schedule. I'm so happy. I appreciate your presence, Rosh Veera. Hopefully, we see in the inside, I would work more with your community and so many other communities that we're involved with. All right, so let's close the meeting for the day, and we see some other time in the week. All right, have a blessed day.